Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi, my name is Lee, and I pretty much talk about most things related to D&D. So today I'd like to just briefly discuss how to make characters appear different in different ages. This one is going to focus on a younger character and how to use the horns to customize hair effects to also help achieve that effect. So the first thing I'm doing here is I'm trying to figure out which base hair I want this character to have. I know roughly that she is a Goliath. I know that she's roughly around 18 years old, and I was trying to find something that went with the overall matching theme of somebody who was a bit younger. When I was around 18, I wore a lot of ponytails, mostly because, we were living on 2.5 hours of sleep and didn't shower as much as we should. So, yeah, ponytails. Here I am figuring out which of the horns I want to use. Generally speaking, I like to try to use the horns that are older, so they're less textured. They have a bit more, kind of almost like a hair, like the shadowing on it could almost kind of be like where hair is shadowed. And I like those. Some of the newer ones tend to be very high resolution and high detail, which I love that for HeroForge, but what I was going for was something that looked more hair-like and less horn-like. So I picked two of the horns that were close to the temples, and then of course the one dead in the middle. And that one mostly is for helping kind of blend everything together more than it is really to be a look. I put it somewhere to kind of try to blend it, but I think I eventually move it later again. I don't think I'm terribly too happy at this point. Usually when I am doing custom horns for hair, I want to immediately start playing with the hair color just to make sure everything is blending correctly, because sometimes you can tell when something's not blending well, and usually that's when you slap the color on it. It's hard to really figure out what's blending and working well when you just have the white or the creamy ivory of the original unpainted statue figure model. So the colors that I went with worked pretty well, and I wanted to give a little bit of a blue tint, mostly just, again, she's a Goliath, so I'm just trying to reinforce some of her bluer tones. I really like the Goliath class. I know technically speaking, the Goliaths don't have hair, but in my campaign it's a fully homebrew pirate-themed campaign, actually, so she's a pirate Goliath, and I honestly feel that D&D, while there are a bunch of rules, tabletop in general is also about what you make it. So if I want the Goliath race to have hair, I'm going to have the Goliath race have hair. So after I get the horns in place, I get the coloring, and I also get the face shape. So I have recently purchased the Pro version of HeroForge, so this character did not get the full face model design, but I will start toying around with that and letting you guys know what I think about it. But for now, what I'm doing is I'm just trying to go with what I think that an 18-year-old kind of person who wants to maintain some of their femininity, maintain some of their youth, but also trying to, be a big baddie out on the seas would look like. And I think I did a pretty good job. I actually really like the color scheme that I went with. I like to put cool tones on Goliaths. I just think it looks really good with the skin tone that I generally choose for them. I do have her father made as well, and at the end of the video you'll see a picture of him, and he's, I would say, more in earth tones than necessarily cool tones, but it's still a cooler, not vibrant coloration. But overall, the focus, I think, for making youthful characters is to make sure that they're not too scantily clad, but, generally with young adults. I mean, she's not a minor, she's a young adult. She is a pirate in a hot temperature, humid area. So I was trying to go for something that I thought was still effeminate, a little bit juvenile, or often what like younger people think that older people are wearing, which, we all end up 30 and then we're like, ah yes, sweatpants, the best. But she's not there yet. She's still kind of trying to find her identity, find who she is as a pirate. And so when I was picking her color scheme, when I was picking her clothing, I wanted her to be a mixture of somebody who's very independent because they are a Goliath, but somebody who still has some femininity and a little bit of a youthful charm to them. That's also why I went with the more rounded feature face. I think technically speaking, this is the face that goes on the gnomes in HeroForge, but I thought it worked really well. And I'm also like a sucker for big noses. I love big noses. So it gives me great joy. But yeah, I can go into a bit more specifics about horn placement in another video if anybody's interested, but admittedly there's no real formula. Mostly just get into the measurements, the proportions, the posing, and move it around until you think it makes sense. That's really the best of that I can really say. I often think that the program is one part picking the right feature and also getting the patience to have the luck to put it in place. And also color does help too. If you're struggling with your placement of the horns as hair, I would definitely suggest putting color onto the horns. It will certainly help you visualize a lot better too. But other than that, I hope you guys have a great day, evening, morning, what have you. I'm over here with COVID, so that's exciting. Not. But enjoy the rest of the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.